Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the Monday painting video. What is the Monday painting video? What's it all about? Well, the Monday painting video is essentially a painting video, but the model or models in question are voted on by you guys, my viewers. From last week's Weekly Wednesday, I show you guys a host of models and you guys vote on what you want me to paint for Monday's painting video. In the event of a tie, I do a dice roll. So for all my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so with 2 votes apiece, we've got the old school Chaos Lord with Michael Slannesh on the steed of Slannesh, and we've got Valerie for the sisters. So 1 to 3 is Chaos Lord, 4 to 6 is Valerie. So 2. So it's Chaos Lord. So I'm gonna get the wet palette set up and everything else, get this space organised, and come back to you then. Right, so this model, there's a few bits of colour put onto it already. Namely some Screaming Skull and a bit of Nagarath Knight. Now, one thing with this model, the reason I swapped the lance for a claw, is because I'm holding it by the banner now. The amount of times this banner's bent. The spear, for those of you who don't know, is a really long spear. It's about that big, and it does bend. It's very thin lead or metal, so I just said no, just get rid of that. So the first colour I'm going to come in with is some Mephiston red. Some Mephiston red. I'm going to come in with this colour. I'm going to paint his banner, because for me there's only a few points of interest on this model. 1 is the steed, 2 is the banner behind him. When you look at the steed, you've got all these lovely bits of detail on the steed, even the diddies at the front there. You've got the banner hanging off the back of him, so if that stands out from him and the steed stands out from me, it's really going to make the whole model pop. You've got the guy himself with his mohawk. He's got the claw arm now, which is really nice. So yeah, there's only really 3 points of interest, which is the man, mostly his mohawk and his claw now, the banner and the steed itself. So I'm going to give this 2 thin coats of Mephiston red. I'm going to come back to you when I've done that. Even straight away you can see that banner stand out a mile now, which is what I wanted. Next I'm going to come in with some Canaptic alloy. This is a paint I've only used a few times. And what I'm going to do with this paint, I'm going to get all these panels on the steed itself. There's some plating across the top of him. Again, this is going to break up the steed's armour from his own armour, so it doesn't just look like a mingle of everything. And I'm going to get the back of that banner pole. As you can see where it's silver there, that's where it's bent a few times and the black paint's come off. So I'm just going to give that a gentle once over. Of course I got red on it, didn't I? Right, so I'm going to finish the rest of the camera. Right, next I'm going to come in with some Youth and Grey. This is a very simple thing I'm going to do. I'm going to paint the rest of the snake body with Youth and Grey. I'm actually going to just bring it in up to where the Screaming Skull starts. Try not to get the gravel on the base because I've already done the base. I'm also going to get his spikes on the back of him here. Right, so I actually as well done a little bit of cloth that's on him. He's got a couple of vials hanging off him, done those as well. When I put the youth and grey across the fin scales here, I realised I'd already done some purple onto it, so it doesn't matter now, it's too late. So now I'm going to come in with some Retributor armour, because he has to have gold armour, why not? I'm going to get this symbol up here first, so that just pops all of that off, and I'm going to come through and get all of his armour. Some full chaos armour, so I'm going to get all of that. I'm going to do his shield as well, but I'm not going to do all of the shield. There's a little crescent moon in here that I'm going to get. And you've got the Slannesh symbol on his shield. I'm going to just get that. It doesn't look great because I've just gone over, and I don't care if I go over because I'm going to come back in and tidy up afterwards. So I'm going to crack on with those few bits of gold and come back to you for the next colour. So here's where we're at, looking very golden. Now I'm going to come with some lead belcher, and I'm going to tidy up the shield. I'm going to get the inside of the shield with the lead belcher. And the outside I'm going to just carefully, I want to leave the gold there, but just tidy up where I overlapped. And he's got metal stirrups. So his legs sit, his feet sitting. So I'm going to just carefully pick those out. As you're going to just break up the gold a little bit more. Right, two interesting things. I didn't realise his claw arm wasn't undercoated, so I just gave that with a paint down with some youth and grey. The tail just snapped off on me. There's one, like I said, with the banner and the spear, there's so many parts to this model that it's just, there's so many points where it's weak. The spear being the lance, I think it was, being one of them, the banner, and now the tail. This bit here as well, where the diddy stop and the bottom half begins, that was glued together as well, because I can see the glue mark just along there. It's one of the old problems with the old metal models. When there's multiple parts to glue together, sometimes you end up too much glue on it and it does bleed through. But for Chaos, it's not really a big issue because it just gives it another little bit more of a look to it. Now, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in with some, where's that colour? Just that one. No, I think it's this one. Some Flopius pink contrast paint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint all of the fleshy skin area on this beast. It's really going to make him pop off from the rider. Push it along here. So I'm going to go off and do that. Next I'm coming in with Talisar Blue contrast paint. And then what I'm going to do with this colour, I'm going to get all these fins. I haven't let the pink dry yet, so when I come in and they come together, if they do blend together, it gives me a nice little purpley. See, I might even just push it down into it. It's not going to take too long. The only thing to be careful of with bits like this is the contrast paint will try and pull itself away from the area you want. You end up with little white bits in this. Not too much of an issue, because when we come through to with the next bit afterwards, we're going to be able to take care of that and sort it out. The next colour I'm going to go for is my favourite, Diary Emerald. And what I'm going to do with this colour is, it has the cloths hanging off of him. I'm going to paint that real Diary Emerald. This just breaks up everything on the model. Breaks it up nicely. Some cloths to the other side. I'm now going to come in with some Gryph-hound Orange, contrast paint again. And this is a very simple, small thing. Airplane going overhead, nice. I'm going to get his vials. Now when we look at it, it all stands out nice. You can see each bit. The contrast paint obviously has to dry before we can actually have a good look at the final result. So I'm going to leave that to dry pretty much. Apart from his tongue, that is pretty much, and his claw actually. So I'm going to come in with some Emperor's Children and just do his tongue. I'm going to come in with some Druky Violet now. This is a shade, and I'm going to paint or shade down his claw. I'm also going to slap it across his armour. There's a lot of detail here that's been missed. And the gold symbol on top. That's his shield. It's going to show you a nice little effect with the silver there. So I'm going to go camera and just finish the rest of the Druky Violet. And so one more thing to do before he's about ready. I take some white scars, and I'm only want to get a little bit of this This is a very, I probably should have done this first of all, but he's got teeth. There's teeth hanging out of his mouth there with his tongue slicing through. So I'm going to leave that dry because that's still a bit wet, as you can see. But for all intensive purposes, this guy's barrel ready. What that means is, for everyone that's new, I could put him on the table and away we go. But what I do now is I take it beyond barrel ready standard. Now this could be a dry brush, this could be an edge highlight, it could be a wash, it could be contrast paint, it could be technical paint, it could be dry paint, it could be a combination of wet blending, you know, layering, using layer paint to layer certain areas up. So I'm going to leave them to dry for a few minutes and I'm going to come back and start taking it beyond barrel ready standard. Right, so the first colour I'm going to go to is Wild Rider Red, which is a layer paint. So I'm going to take some of that and I'm going to come along, just paint it onto the banner. I don't want to get the edges of the banner, I just want to get roughly the middle part of it. Now there's no panic because it is a layer paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. And what I'm going to do then is just try and bring it along like that, along the edge, along the crease. On the back, there's not much creases on the back because of the pole, but I can get in there and do that. It's going to really, as it dries, it's going to really pop up and look good. I just realised one mistake I've done here. His helmet isn't a full mohawk. It's only the top piece. That's the armour plating, so I need to paint that with some retribute armour. Bloody hell. It's going to look out of place considering the rest of it's been washed. So what I'm going to do next, probably before this dries actually, I'm going to pop open the Drukari Violet. I'm going to wet blend with it. Some people are going to scream at the camera and go, what the hell are you doing? Wet blending a metallic paint and a wash. We'll give it a go. Let's see what happens. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a really good idea. But look, now we know. I will just dab some on there and then I'll leave that to dry. I drop the brush again, knocking the camera. Next I'm going to come in with some Stormhost Silver, which is another layer paint. But what I'm going to do with this bad boy, I'm going to take some of my brush it onto tissue, and I want to try and just get the armour on the beast. And the edge of the shield I want to get. Right, now I'm going to come in with some more Emperor's Children, which is this lovely pink layer paint. what I'm going to do again, take some on the brush onto tissue. I'll dry brush all the skin to make it really pop off. Right, next I'm going to take some more white scars. Again, put it onto the tissue. I'm going to dry brush all of these ridges. I don't think the contrast paint's dry properly. Damn. And dry brush the cloths. It's a bit too much white. And a dry brush his mohawk. Actually, that's actually coming out pretty well, considering there's a bit of green on it from the Adari Emerald. Actually really giving me a really making that pop off nicely. I can still see where that Adari Emerald's a bit wet. See, that looks really nice across the purple. Let's get a bit more white. You're going to take some more white. Dry brush across the cloak here, the banner, sorry. I want to get all those ridges. I think I should really stop myself now because I think I'm going a bit too far. Just want to get the claw a little bit. One more thing I need to do, or I want to do, and that is take some more white scars. And I think I'm going a bit too far now. Just dry brush along the front here. Now I'm going to leave that to dry. And I think I've gone a bit too far, maybe, but I'm going to leave that to dry and then come back and just show you the final results, give you my final thoughts and stuff like that. Now, I do think I've gone a bit too far. That's one problem that we all have. We start painting something, we get a bit carried away. But I'll see when it all dries, and hopefully it, because most of it's a layer paint, especially what I've dry brushed with, hopefully it will just give me, you know, something really nice that I like. Right, so I think he turned out fantastic. I'm not too sure about this bit across the front of the beast's diddies, but the rest of it I think look fantastic. The cloth looks amazing. I like the fins as well. I think they look they look pretty good. His mohawk looks amazing. That was a mistake where I didn't realise the blue was still a bit, the green was still a bit wet and blue was a bit wet, but I think it looks fantastic. Not wet, do not wet blend, and metallic and a shade. You can see it doesn't look too great there. The paint, the metallic paint seems to have gone to the edges and the wash stays in the middle, but that's something I tried, it didn't work. And the claw looks amazing. I like the banner as well. Overall, I'm happy with this guy. So now I've got to find another fantasy model and put them in for next week's vote. So massive thank you to everyone who voted. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you'll see this for the first time, hit the subscribe button because it costs you absolutely nothing. Turn your notifications on so I don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube to this video and more people, which makes this amazing community of you guys grow even more. Any thoughts or comments about this model, chuck them below as always, guys. Until next time, thanks for watching. Take it easy.